Hello, the Astroflower family. Welcome back to the Astroflower channel. This is going to be a general reading followed by a sign in clarification of a general reading for July. So if you're already part of the Astroflower family, welcome. We do appreciate your support. So that's the overall energy that's gone down. Ace of Swords. This goes in line with what's been going on with my energies in regards to my healing over the last sort of week. I've done 50 hours of healing over the last week. It's been amazing. A little bit drained, but it's okay. I've been channeling that energy all the time and it's been absolutely fantastic. Met some absolutely beautiful people down in Provence, and I do thank you for being there. I will be having some healing sessions in the UK. If you want to get involved in that, well, there will be a link some point in the description below. Let's get on to the general reading. So this is a general reading for what's going on for everybody in the human race, as it were, over the next month of July. And we're going to be tying it into the Astroflower. So we've got in the center here, we've got the Ace of Swords. It's going from a transition from fire energy, internal fire energy, to internal air energy. So we're moving from the passion of the instant, of the now, and moving into the calculative mental side of tomorrow. That's what seems to be happening. Let's just get an overall feeling of the general vibration, what's going on with the human race. If you've been watching the weeklies, if you're part of the Astroflower family already and you've been watching the weeklies, I've been talking about these waves that have been coming through, and there's different ones for fixed, mutables and cardinals, and we can see these waves, but because everybody's involved in this, it's almost like there's several waves going on at the same time. Okay, so it seems like choppy waters. Now, choppy waters, for anyone who sails or who knows anything about the sea, choppy waters are two things. Basically, it's about what you're sailing above, what the seabed's like. If it's very smooth, it tends to be very consistent. If it's very rocky underneath, you can get a lot of choppy waters, but also it's got to do with the wind as well. So, and the other thing we can notice coming through, which you might be able to see, which I will put here, yeah, is that earth that we can see that comes through in this section here, but it's also coming through in this section here, and it is playing into here, which is going to move across, and this earth as well is moving across. So it's giving a certain constructive logic to the future. Let's just see what's going on the overall energy. Cutting the chaff from the wheat, cutting out the fat, cutting out the cancer on life, because we're going through cancer season. But it is a little bit like that. So, and they're not massive operations here. There's a lot of small ones, and I think that's what that choppy water is all about. It's sort of saying here that it could be a collective thing. So we might all of a sudden realise that we don't actually need money to live. And we might just be able to get along. That could well be it. That's a massive realization in the human race. But it could be actually a realization of kind of going, maybe we need to reevaluate how we use the energy of the earth. That could well be it on that sort of scale of sort of petrol and electricity and everything like that. It could also be very simple things like sort of the way we treat our neighbours, the way we treat our community, our friends and our family. And develop that sort of side of life. So it could be these little things, but on a personal level, and this is where we're going to go into the readings of the individual signs at the end of this general reading. So if you're watching this on an Aries, it'd be for Aries at the end, you'll see. Yeah. So it could be on a personal level. There's another thing that's coming through as well, is with these victories, will make the masks drop. So this could be, as I say, on a collective level, but it also could be from people that are around you or situations that are around you. So it could be, say, like how a local business is really, not treating the local environment very well. And that may be that mask that falls down. that sort of thing. It's like, you know, let's take an extreme example. We could say it's like a vegan restaurant serving beef. You know what I mean? It's that sort of thing, and people thinking, oh, it's a really nice restaurant and everything like that. It's really tasty, and I don't eat beef anyway, so I wouldn't know if beef is tasty. I haven't eaten it in 30 odd years. But anyway, yeah, so, you know, it could be that sort of thing. So it's a mask coming down. So here we go. We got the relationship side, and then here we got the financial sort of side. These are the karmic messages for according to both sides, and this is the overall outcome for the month. So let's just go through here. Let's just get an overall reading. So it's a general sort of reading. I think on this side, certainly on the relationship side, let's just do the karmic message first. True value. That's what it seems to be. Aha. Okay, so stepping through a portal, celebration, a realization of what is real value. That is what is going to be happening. That's our understanding this month. That's what we got to understand this month. The true value of things. And this is on the relationship side. So it's a true value of those relationships that are around you. Let's just see how the universe is trying to sort of influence us. It's almost as if I think the universe is trying to make us understand that we're a planet that's attached to a sun, which is got lots of planets around it, so it acts like a cell, and that cell is in a bigger part of the body, could be like an organ, like the liver, whatever, and then that liver is obviously within a being, which we might call the big kahuna, or the big cheese, or dog in opposite. So, you know, it depends what you call it, but I think it's a realization of being part of something that's much more putting us in balance and in harmony with the universe that is around us in an emotional sort of sense. This is looking up to be a really nice month actually for us, for everybody, you know, as a collective sort of thing. It's really quite nice. So let's just see how the it's almost like as our ancestors are trying to sort of influence, like the human race that's been before us, that we've all been incarnated at some point in, how we're trying to advise our future self in a way. That's what it's trying to do on a physical sort of level within our relationships. Active, be involved, be part of it. Don't be stuck. That's what they're trying to get us unstuck. Maybe they're trying to get us unstuck to, a system that is just sort of like, swallowing us up collectively. That could well be it. It could be getting us unstuck from a narrative that's being shoved down our throats. This could be on an individual level as much as on a global or national level. So that's what our ancient guides, our ancestors are trying to influence us as a going forward. Okay, on this side here, this is how our ancestors are trying to influence the here and now. So really getting involved in what they've put into place over those generations before us to get to this situation where we are living at the moment. Open up. Be open to relationships. Be open to the community. Be open to saying hello to your neighbour, asking them if they need anything, or asking them to help you with something. Open up, I think. Judgment. This is really nice as well. So this is all about sort of ascending to something far greater, which is a great possibility within the human race. We have that. If you go into, let's say, caves around the world and you see cave drawings, you're never going to see, not of my knowledge, someone might know, so if they do know, put them in the comments below. I'd like to see it. But you never see cave paintings of humans fighting humans. It didn't exist. Why didn't it exist? Maybe we didn't have the bear to poke or the man to make, the man to pay. That could well be it. So I think this is, the human race here within regards to relationships and etc. has got a real opportunity to step out of that narrative or that paradigm that we've been in for years and generations and generations. And I think this is what the ancestors are trying to tell us as well. It ties in beautifully with those constant small victories and that new thing. And this is a real mental card. So this is pushing through to the future as we move into Leo by the end of the month, where we're going to get a lot more of that cardinal air coming in, which will be coming in right down this section here from Libra, which is this card here as well, which will be really influencing at the beginning of the month, the beginning of July. That's where the Libra energy is, and it moves over here. And as it moves over here, this is where we go through that portal now going forward. Let's just have a look what's going on the financial sort of side. Now, this is obviously very complicated for everybody. There's lots of things tied into it, various geopolitical sort of things, economical things, philosophical sort of things. But on an individual basis, we've all been through a tough time over the last sort of 2 or 3 years. And that may be weighing on us and sort of playing on our minds, as it were. Let's just see how the overall energy is going on for that. Let's see what's going on that side of things. I think this is more to do with the masks. As I said earlier on, the mask coming down. And it seems to be like history is going to bring down those masks. So all of a sudden, I think there's going to be maybe a case of realizations where we're going to realize, oh, what we've been told may not necessarily be the truth. I think that's going to be the case. That's what it looks like. So let's have a look what the karmic message is going on here. Accounts. Time to do the accounts. Time to draw the bottom line and see what's what. And that's what it seems to be. Sun, happiness, liberation. And that's what the bottom line's all about in the regards to finances. When you do your accounts and you draw that bottom line and then you say exactly how much money you've got, you can feel like let's say in your business or in your job or whatever, at the end of the month, you've got that money and you kind of think, yeah, I can now do things with it. And I think this is what this is realizing here. With the accounts, we can walk away from certain aspects and walk towards other aspects. And the Eight of Cups, she's walking away from that one cup and she's walking towards the sun. So I think this is what the karmic message is financially for us collectively. We've got to walk away from an old way of doing things, do the accounts, find out where all the money's gone and see who owes what and everything like that, and put everything squarely on the table so then we can all collectively move on and construct something a little bit more sort of solid and maybe even fair and and honest. Let's just see how the universe is guiding us here. It's like a wave. It's like a wave washing. It's like a tidal wave. It's like a tsunami, sort of saying, yeah, it's blowing out the cobwebs, all of that sort of thing. Oh, the Eight of Cups. I was just speaking to that. How mad is that? How mad is that? That's great. That is great. So she is walking away from that cup and she's walking towards the sun, which is over here. So, our karmic mission this month is really to sort of start enjoying the idea of our power of understanding and having control over our financial system and not allowing it to be governed by hissy fits around the world. This is our children's lives we're playing with here, people. And I think it's about time we grew up and started taking account for the situation. That's really good. So, the universe is, it's that wave. So let's just see what's going on the, how the ancestors are trying to, our past selves are trying to influence this moment on a physical sort of sense, with, on a physical sort of sense. Clean up your own backyard. I don't know if you know that Elvis Presley song. Clean up your backyard. Don't you try to... Anyway, not the rest of the words, but he talks about the idea of sort of make sure your own backyard is clean before you start complaining about the others. That's basically what it is. And it's sort of saying it's time to put to work clean up your own backyard. Being at one with who you are, I think, financially, being content with doing things. If you've got a company that is ruining people, animals, nature, then maybe it's a kind of sort of saying, okay, now I'm going to be with one with myself. I'm not going to go to that business. I'm not going to get involved in that business. We have a lot more control than we actually realise. Once we realise that whole sun, it's going to be brilliant. Let's just say you didn't agree with a political a company that does, let's say, I don't know, fast foods, which you normally go to, and you didn't like the way they did their policy. In that case, and the way they treat our children, and the way they treat our society. In that case, why don't you just go and buy some meat and start, or go and buy some vegetables and do your own veggie burgers or your meat burgers, whatever. I'm not going to ram anything down anybody's throat. But it's like that. And then that'll encourage that whole sort of community side of things. I think this is where, once we get together with ourselves and realise the power that we actually do have in our hands to take control of our financial situation on an individual level. Now, that is really important. If you do it on an individual level, the collective will almost look out for itself. And I think this is the realization, and this is maybe what we've got to walk away from. That whole idea that the collective is running the show or running us individually. I think this is going to be a bit of a light bulb moment for everybody. Let's just see how the guides are trying to influence that in a way of mental sort of stuff and thinking and etc. Because you know, we're going to be moving on at the end of the month. We're going to be moving on where we're going to have water and earth going through here. Oh no, it's going to be earth and water, sorry, going through here. And with that earth and water, it's a very, very productive time. So once this wave has come through from the universe to get rid of all the stuff that we don't need, or that is actually being detrimental to the idea of the evolution of the human, and we start living our better selves individually through the idea of this could be brilliant, this could be such a beautiful place. Once we do that, I think on this side here, I think it's going to be very productive. So let's just see what's going on here. It's working together. It's understanding that this world wasn't built by one person, okay? And I'm not talking about the planet, I'm talking about the human aspect of it, yeah? You need to work with other people, it's, you know. So, yeah, so stop fighting. It's gonna, you know, the Five of Wands can be all about sort of fighting and conflict. But here I think it's a case of the individuals we need to stop fighting. And as individuals, we need to reach for our higher self. That's what we need to do within the financial world. And walk away from that lonesome cup that kept us hypnotized for so long, for generations and generations. And I think the old ancestors are coming in and wanting to actually do this. Let's see what the overall outcome is for July. Absolutely blinding reading. This is really reflecting on all those healings I did this week as well. Absolutely amazing. Anything is possible until you place it against reality. So I could build a mansion. I could build a massive house with a lake and everything like that. But do I have the resources to make that? Probably not. I definitely don't actually. But then therefore, automatically, the idea of building that mansion stays a bit of a dream, could well come true in time, but at this present time, in reality, it is not feasible. So basically, it's now getting on and doing things that are possible rather than trying to running around after butterflies or dreams that are not going to come true, that keep us distracted from life. Yeah. Being centered within us, knowing our place within reality. And yeah, there is people who are not going to like it to start with, but they will come round because they will see the benefits of it all. Once we as individuals start applying ourselves to this future, okay? And I really do think that July is a pivoting point. June has been really hectic. I don't know about you guys. It's been an amazing month. Really has been an amazing month. It's been an amazing year so far. But which we've done the readings on June as well, which you can see, and also for 2022, which you can see somewhere in the in our videos on our channel. If you're subscribed, obviously, you'd be easy to be able to find them, and that's one way of helping. Spread the message. Sharing this video on Facebook and stuff like that is helping you, actually. Is helping progress the collective, helping progress us as individuals to evolve and move on from what we've been living. So share this video far and wide, because this seems to be a really important message, and it's got to get out there. It's got to get out there for us. So we're going to be now pulling on your individual signs. And you will be getting 3 cards. How we interact with this whole message on the relationship side, on the financial side, and the overall energies. We're probably going to pull a card for the going future forward section as well. So so stay with us and for that. In the meantime, don't forget, please subscribe, click that bell. It really does help us out. Okay, so straight off the bat, Aries, how you doing? Aries. Let's just go through that. You're going to be coming through to your springtime period, and you're going to be so you should be getting sort of plans coming through and everything, shoots coming through, so you can start seeing the growth of those projects that you should be dealing with. Let's just see what's going on here. On the relationship side, so how you as a person interact with this message of the general vibration that's going through, and how you individually put it out there. So let's just see what's going on here. So for you, Aries, I think Aries, you're based over here. I really do. I think here is more of a case of kind of be that pillar. I think I was talking about that in your weeklies last week, and I think this month here, relationships wise, I think it's going to be a case of you being that point of reference for everybody that is around you. You don't really have to do anything. Yeah. So being that tower, this could be like a tower moment. I think you probably will get tower moments being a tower. It's a little bit like that 7 of Wands there. That 7 of Wands, they're being held up by those 6 wands. And then they've got that 1 wand that's trying to bring you down. And you may just realise that there's some people who are not in it for the group. They're not in it for your kids. They're not in it for the community. They're not in it for the people that are around you, for the family and your friends and stuff like that. And it's going to make you sort of realise that, because some things on this card here, on the tower there's some person that's fallen out the tower, and unfortunately they've fallen on the rocks, and the rock's gone straight through them. Which is a bit of an unfortunate thing. You've got another person that's falling as well there, but they should be, they seem to be all right, and a crown that's toppled. So it's all about these sort of masks falling down. And I think it's going to be a case of realising that some people are not so far down the road as others, and you can't wait for them. And they may get, it's like a child. A child will get upset and annoyed with you simply because they haven't, they don't understand. If they understand what's going on, they can position themselves. They don't necessarily have to get annoyed with you. So it's always good to explain to kids, to go down to their level and explain to them. But here is a situation where you need to explain it by what you do. Let's just see what's going on the financial sort of side as well. Calling it out. It's like you're the megaphone, calling out society, calling out when they're finances, and it's not, it doesn't tally. Basically, the finances do not tally. Yeah, 5 of Cups. You may well be disappointed with the financial world. Just kind of, when you get to that last line, you could well get to the last line. Not you necessarily on a personal level, but certainly within the collective, that you might be kind of going, oh, we're in trouble, we're in debt. And, you know, and then you may sort of kind of going, I'm disappointed, and I may start asking questions of why we're in debt. And I think this is going to provoke people to come together. It seems like through that disappointment, financial disappointment, it's more emotional than anything else for you. But once you realise that, look, that person there, they've spilt 3 cups, but look, they've got 2 cups, which you have there, the collective, which if she turns round, you know, she'll see, and then she'll be able to take those 2 cups, and then they should be able to use the bridge to get to higher ground, basically. So through the disappointment, through walking away, this is what that's all about. Through that walking away on that 5 of those cups and walking towards unifying the financial sort of situation that you may have personally, but also collectively, you're going to expose a lot of things, and you're going to be able to walk into town with your head held high. Let's just see what the overall energy is going on for you, Aries. Being brave, being a rock, being solid, being that point of reference, being like a roundabout for the world around you. You know, the Chariot, being solid, victories. You're going to move it quickly. You're going to call people out quite quickly, and I wouldn't be afraid of that at all. As I say, it could be that disappointment as well that sort of plays all the way across. And because it's disappointing, Aries, you like to know what's going on. And you like the accounts to be properly done and to know exactly where you are. And I think this needs to be done on an individual level, but also on a collective level. So you're going to play a really important part this month of actually, you know, this is all to do with victories as well, the Chariot as well. And, you know, she's holding what seems to be like a little ace of swords. So it's playing beautifully into that sort of scenario of small victories and cutting out the dead wood, as it were. Okay, let's just see what it goes on to on the future going forward. It's going to make you shine. It's going to make you stand out. It's going to make it's going to provide huge amounts of opportunities for you, victories by the looks of things. 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands going on a journey, but it is also about the coming and going of things. So boats that's leaving the harbour. So walking away from that cup, it's allowing things to just disappear and leave. Because this could be a personal journey as well. And I think it is more than this. And it's moving on. So as boats leave, other boats come in. And it's providing or provoking within you of going on that journey. Now that the counts are being done, have been done, you can see clearly. And all of a sudden, you're going to kind of sort of say, in that case, I want to go off on that boat, or I want that boat to come in. And it's a personal journey, and it's a triggering point. It's the moment you decide to take that leap of faith and go off into the sea to start doing some surfing. It's the moment you jump into the water. After that, then you've got to live the journey. But here it looks like, to me, and this is part of that 7 of Wands underneath you, is actually going on that journey. Once you've come to the conclusions and got over the disappointment, it looks like by the end of the month, and this is where you've got the water and earth underneath it as well, which is going to provide a lot of passion within you because you are that fire sign. Really good position for you, Aries. Looks really nice. Your weekly will be coming out as per usual on Saturday. If you want to be part of the Astroflower family, it would be an absolute joy to have you here. And your support is amazing because YouTube are not really helping us at the moment, to be honest. You know, I love YouTube, but they just don't seem to love me at the moment. I don't know what it's all about, but it seems to be quite difficult. So all of your support is really, really appreciated. Just sharing this video, watching the videos completely, liking it, commenting on it. If we start provoking stuff together, we're going to get a lot further down the line. We're going to start evolving really quickly, and I think this channel is part of doing that. So, you know, you're more than welcome to be part of this Astroflower family just by subscribing and certainly clicking that bell. Apparently that's really important. Okay. In the meantime, Aries, don't forget, life should be fun, so make sure you do enjoy.